Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Thursday, May 22nd, and we're getting a little bit of lift, but God, good grief, that is a grind to the upside, man. I mean, I've been watching it. I've been waiting for them to knock it down. You saw them to start slowly grinding it down after that V-top, after the London close, back to the mean, and then look at that, like pop right up, right smack up. I was waiting for them the bears to maybe try to make a run out of it, but looks like we had a little rally instead, and now they've been grinding this to the upside. So we will see. We're getting into that last half hour. So if you can hold on to these gains, I'll take it any day of the week. So we'll just see how far they can take it. But this looks to me like they definitely turning things around, and we may be starting off from the long side at this point. I would like to see them take out that 58.95. I mean, that's the last level we talked about. This is my above that one. We're back on the long side again, thinking they're going to trade it higher. So this could be a reverse retest of the 58.95s, and that's kind of run out of gas. This would be the last one to look for potential short, but I would not be very aggressive any short setup right now. You can see that anyone taking short here has been basically twisting in the wind. Most of the time, a small little opportunity there, but pretty much twisting in the wind slowly, finding himself in a losing position. So I would just give it this little bit of space. If this turned out to be the high and they knock it down from there, so be it. But I would be looking for a much better setup at this point. Something like this. Then you if you want to take the shot, then have you stop pretty tight in case they just keep running it. So. But I would start off as long as they hold above this session high at the 875. So I'm going to start with a bias to the upside, see if they can take it higher. The last one for a short, I think, is at 58.95s. Above that, I think we are heading higher. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And we're starting to retrace this one right back up into this upper range again. So stage three is where we may end up so far. We are in stage two still, and if they can spend a trading day up here in the middle, then we are in stage three on that profile. But this has been one knockdown drag out kind of Iran, you know. If you see, they cut off the buying here at the 59.90, they knocked it down, and then we had a news event, knocked it all the way down here to the 58.30, a lot lower than I thought they would take it. I thought that these two support areas would be good enough, but no, you had to have a piece of news in between, which is going to knock it down even further. So they were down here, reverse retesting support at 35. So far, that's holding, and we'll take it from there. So at this point, slight bias to the upside to get started. Let's see if they can hold on to that upper edge. And below, if they close below 75, we're back range, but above it, we're staying with a slight bias to the upside. All right, looking at the bonds and the Nasdaq. Well, before I keep going there, let's take a look at the news. News for tomorrow is pretty anemic. We have nothing much going on. 10 o'clock we get new home sales, and that's about it. And Fed speaker at noon, and that's about it. So Sunday, though, it looks like Jerome Powell is speaking on Sunday, so that could mess something up for that little overnight into Monday. Now remember, we have a Memorial Day come up on Monday, so it's going to be a half trading day then. So looking at the Nasdaq and the bond market is to the upside. I've taken out to the 111s, so I would start off with a bias to the upsides and see how far they can take it. If they can be able to retrace all these single prints so far, they have not. They're halfway up there to the 111.12. We'll see how far they can take it. And let me see here. Yeah, so that's the bond. Start with a slight bias to the upside. If they close below the 111, start off range bound. And on the Nasdaq, also like a knockdown drag out there up here at the highs. So far, not been able to take it out, but you know, we're either going to see a pretty hard run down here into the close, or we may see a pop. I mean, it's going to be one or the other, I think. And at this point, I mean, they've been grinding it higher, so it would not be surprised you get late in the session, a little sell-off. It would not be surprising at all, but we'll see how strong this really is. At this point, the bulls are not letting go. They're holding on to this for their dear life. Now, if they close below this session high at the 240s, we'll be back range bound. Going to be probably an edge down here at the 190 to 200s going into tomorrow. I'm going to adjust this a bit, but starting off with a slight bias to the upside on the Nasdaq. Let's see how far I can take it. And watch out, look at that, look for that potential little profit taking knockdown at the very end there, if that's going to happen. If it happens, I think it's going to start like probably like at 12:50, okay, or like 3:50, 10 minutes before the close. Usually it's when they kick that shit in. So, and then finally, oil and gold. Not much to say about either of those two. Gold is just range bound. To the downside though, they're off the 3,300. They're below it. So I would start off with a slight bias to the downside on gold and see if they can retest these lows, maybe take it lower. But they're right back down at the lows here. So starting off with a slight bias to the upside. Oh, sorry, with a slight bias to the downside. If they close above this ledge at the 3,300s, I would take off that and go back to range bound. And then oil, back up again, but still holding pretty much. So they couldn't take it a whole lot lower. We're looking for rotation back to the 62. So I would just say range bound trading on oil at this point. Alrighty, guys, I'll leave it there for now, and I'll see you back at bright and early in the morning, 8:05 Eastern. All right, guys, later. So no trades for me today. I didn't take any trades in this long. It was just could not make up my mind if I want to be on the short and long side of this, and I'm glad I didn't because that had been a difficult one. I mean, the reversals has been quick, and if you missed them, you pretty much would have run out of runway, you know. Anyway, we'll leave it there. See you back in the morning. Later.